说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello there, Ellies. This is Chinese Pod bringing you a lesson in spoken Mandarin coming all the way from Shanghai, China. My name is Ken Carroll.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are talking a slightly specific lesson here today.
Indeed.
This may not be for everyone.
It's
right.
for Coke
For
drinkers.
Coca-Cola. Or, well, Coke drinkers. Yeah.
Or Diet Coke drinkers.
Diet Coke
to be
drinkers.
precise.
Somebody has asked us, how do you say it? Because it's sometimes confusing.
Yeah.
And you're traveling around China, you want Diet Coke. And how do you ask for it?
Yes.
Now, the interesting thing is there's a difference. These are brand names, Diet Coke, and there's a Diet Pepsi, and they're actually different. So, we're going to tell you how to distinguish between the two.
Yes.
And we're going to use some fairly high-frequency language along the way, of course.
Exactly.
Okay, so why don't we listen to this dialogue 3 times, and we'll come back and we'll have a look at it.
对话第一遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
第二遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
第三遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
Okay, let's translate it, shall we?
好，有健怡可乐吗？
Did you have Diet Coke here?
有健怡可乐吗？
Do you have Diet Coke?
有健怡可乐吗？没有，只有可口可乐。
No, we've only got Coca-Cola.
没有，只有可口可乐。
No, we've only got Coca-Cola.
没有，只有可口可乐。那有百事清怡吗？
Do you have Diet Pepsi then?
那有百事清怡吗？
Well then, do you have Diet Pepsi?
那有百事清怡吗？好像有，我看一下。有的，
I think we do. Just hang on a second. Yeah, we do.
好像有，我看一下。有的，
Think so. Hold on a minute. Yeah, we do.
好像有，我看一下。有的，好，要一个。
Okay, I'll take one.
好，要一个。
Okay, I'll have one of those.
好，要一个。It's quite a mouthful of Diet Cokes and Diet Pepsis.
It's a swig of Diet Coke, indeed. Yeah. Interesting. Like we said, these are brand names, and even the characters. Some of them aren't that common in other contexts. But let's take a look at them, and you will know how to say this stuff in a moment. All right. So the first sentence was.
有健怡可乐吗？
Now the word for cola is
可乐，可乐。
可乐. Cola.
Yes.
Transliteration, obviously.
Yeah. In China, when you say 可乐,
Yeah.
Most people interpret it as a category of soft drink.
Okay.
So Pepsi is also a 可乐
Yes.
to a lot of Chinese.
Yes. So including a waiter in a restaurant, if you say cola, they'll assume it could be either
Pepsi or Coke.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Now, well, I don't know the difference actually, but
You're
anyway,
not a
it's
Coke drinker.
not really. But so it's now I know the difference. But how did we actually describe Diet Coke here?
健怡可乐。
健怡
对
Fourth and second. Tell us
yes.
about that.
Well, these two characters, well, first of all, it's a specific word, a product name for Diet Coke.
Okay.
And 健 is 健康, healthy. And that's quite a common word. But 怡 means happy or enjoyable. However, it doesn't appear that often in other contexts.
Yeah, I don't know of it in any other context. Okay. So, 建议, which sounds like Jenny.
Jenny 可乐.
If you want Jenny Cola.
Wow, how narcissistic can I be?
Well, you are slim, you see. So that's how it does. That's how it works. So there you go. That's how you say Diet Coke.
健怡可乐.
建议可乐.
健怡可乐.
There you go. And it's coming straight from Jenny. There's your mnemonic. Now, in the event that this particular establishment doesn't have it, the waiter might say,
没有，只有可口可乐，只有可口可乐。
now, 只有 was a really useful little phrase meaning
Only.
only have. And by inference, of course, we only have.
Yeah.
The waiter could, of course, say 我们只有 blah, 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 but in this case, they don't need the pronoun.
Yes.
So the response simply was,
只有可口可乐，可口可乐。
now, 可口可乐 is a piece of genius, if
I
you ask
think
me.
so, yeah.
It is such a genius transliteration of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, both the transliteration and in terms of meaning,
Yes.
it's brilliant.
Everything. So let's take a look at it. So first of all, the word for cola, as we had, is
可乐
now literally meaning what?
happy or can be happy.
Can be happy. 乐 fourth tone means happiness.
Yes.
And 可 as in can be, to
Yep.
be able to be.
Yes.
So to be able to be happy, 可乐.
So if you drink that stuff, it can make you happy. 可乐
Right. 可
yeah.
乐, that's great. And then the coca bit is even more brilliant. And this is
可口可口 and that means delicious or tasty.
可口 means delicious. Isn't that clever? And it's the same 可, right?
Yes.
可以的可.
Yep.
And the 口 as in mouth. So all sorts of things. I mean, it could make your mouth happy, all of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
可口可乐.
可口
Clever.
可乐
Great piece of marketing there.
Welcome back to another installment of Chinese Pod Trivia. And the question for you is, for what test does Chinese Pod offer preparation services for? Is it A, the polygraph, B, the colonoscopy, C, the HSK test, or D, the CAT scan?
The CAT scan?
Ooh, sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, the HSK test. That's right, Chinese Pod will thoroughly prepare you to pass this rigorous test of proficiency in Chinese. ChinesePod.com/HSK.
There are stories about the original translation of Coca-Cola in Chinese, translated as something along the lines of bite the wax tadpole or something.
Really?
Actually, that was Cantonese as far
Maybe,
as I know.
yeah.
So it was a little bit different. But anyway, in Chinese, once more, it's called
可口可乐 Well, can talk about genius translations.
Yes.
Pepsi also
Is it?
scores here.
whoa.
In the dialogue, we have Diet Pepsi.
Yes.
So it's 百事清怡
Yes.
百事清怡
Now, 百事 literally means 100 things.
Yeah, and that's the brand name of Pepsi, in Chinese.
Yeah, 百事
百事
100 things.
Yeah, so if you want to say Pepsi Cola to be
Yes.
very Chinese, 百事可乐
There you go.
百事可乐 which means, 100 things are all good, make you happy.
Wow.
Right?
Clever. This marketing Chinese is very clever, isn't it? Really interesting. But how did we describe now the diet element here? So diet Pepsi Cola.
那有百事清怡吗？那有百事清怡吗？
Now the 清怡 meaning
Well, that's the specific product name
Okay.
for Diet Pepsi. And 清 means light.
light.
So that's
You can see the
link.
associations there of lightness
Lightness.
as opposed to heaviness and calories. There you go. Clever again. Really clever stuff. Well, in that case, do you have Diet Pepsi?
那有百事清怡吗？那有百事清怡吗？
And the waiter's not completely certain, so he'll take a look.
好像有，我看一下。有的。
So 3 really simple phrases here, but really useful. So let's look at the 3 of them. The first one was
好像有
meaning I guess so. My
Yeah.
guess is that we do that kind of thing. 好像有 it seems to
Yep.
be the case. And then
我看一下，我看一下，
我看一下 means let me go and take a look. I'll have a quick look.
我
Yeah.
看一下 and he comes back with a positive answer.
Yeah.
有的，
有的
有的。
We do indeed have it.
Yeah.
有的 Okay. Now, and then your response is, okay, well, in that case, I'll have one of those.
好，要一个，好，要一个。
I'll have one of those. There you go. Now, this is very specific. If you're not a cola drinker, hey, sorry about that. There is some of the high frequency language
Yes,
here.
and also such a brilliant, lesson on translations in the culture.
It is. It's
stuff.
a very good example of how clever the marketing can be in terms of transliterations. If you don't drink Coca-Cola yourself, well, at least you can march around. You can impress your friends with all your knowledge. Or if you have visitors over, you can ask them, do you
Yes.
want,
健怡可乐，
or would you prefer?
百事清怡。
Whoa, and I'm impressed with that. So let's listen to that 3 more times.
Yeah. 对话，第一遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
第二遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
第三遍，
有健怡可乐吗？
没有，只有可口可乐。
那有百事清怡吗？
好像有，我看一下。有的，
好，要一个。
Okay.
Well, Ken, it's interesting that the English word diet
Yes.
doesn't really appear in Chinese.
Yes.
Diet is a completely different word than either 健怡 or
Yeah.
清怡, which
Yeah.
are just product names.
I think it's classic Chinese poetics at work. Half of the time you're in a restaurant, you're reading the
Menu.
You don't know what it is. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's like
you don't know what it is.
9 dragon and 8 pandas dish.
It's like, oh yeah, give me some of that, whatever it is. Yeah, and I think it's some of the genius of Chinese marketing as well, the way it works, some of those transliterations. So this does it all. There's a transliteration. It gets the meaning across. It gets the even the sort of what marketers would call a value proposition. It's going to make
Yep.
your mouth feel happy.
Yes.
Wow, that is clever.
But I have to tell you, in
Yep.
smaller cities,
Yeah.
or should I say in cities except for the big 3
Yes.
in China, you're not very likely to find either Diet Coke or Diet
Okay.
Pepsi in restaurants or even in supermarkets.
Oh, there you go. So just to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Okay, we hope that was informative. It was a slightly slimmed down lesson, I guess. Pun intended. But hope it was informative. And we'll be back again tomorrow with lots more. In the meantime, of course, you can go to ChinesePod.com and explore the patterns and the links and all of that, the connections and all of that stuff. However,
It's time for us to say 再见.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
0870.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0870 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0870.